Hey, what's going on, everyone? I want to share with you something that the MTA do not like, right? And that thing is bad publicity. They hate bad publicity, right? The MTA is the type of company that want to control every single letter of the narrative, every single letter. And why they want to do that is because just like any other abuser, right? Any other oppressor, they don't want the people that's being affected by their decisions, their oppressive decisions, to have a say. They don't want people to know who they really are, right? Um, and with this whole social media thing, the MTA did not account or even think that workers would be using social media to say what's really going on, how we're being treated, the decisions the company make. Like I said, the MTA want to control every single part of the narrative. Now, you will also hear that the MTA say, "Oh, workers cannot talk to the press." That's untrue. Workers cannot speak out against the company. That is untrue. I'm gonna tell you what the truth is. A lot of people ask me, Tramel, what does that FIST stand for in progressive action? And it stands for the five freedoms, right? And those five freedoms are freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the right to petition, and the right to assemble, right? So that's what the FIST actually means when it comes to progressive action. And two of those freedoms is freedom of speech, um, well, the right to petition, the right to assemble, and those are very important right there. Those are very important when it comes to the MTA because they cannot oppress any one of those freedoms, no matter what. They cannot oppress any one of those freedoms. And it's very important that we exercise those freedoms when it comes to the MTA. So when they say you cannot speak to the press, you can't do this, you can't do that, that is untrue, right? They would scare you and do all this other stuff, but it's untrue in a court of law, right? It's part of the Constitution at that, right? So with the MTA controlling the narrative and social media, think about what they do to us via social media when we get customer complaints and things of that nature. They have weaponized social media against their employees, right? And we have yet to fully weaponize social media against the MTA. We allow them to control every part of the narrative. A lot of workers do not like to go to the media to speak about the MTA because they are in fear of being retaliated against by the company. Now, I'm not saying that the MTA will not retaliate against you. They probably will, because just like any other abuser who want control, they will get mad if the abusee speak out. So, yeah, they probably will retaliate against you, but your job would not be on the line for speaking about how you are being treated on the job. There's no way possible. Now, the thing with embarrassing the MTA with social media, this is the only way that we can see where we will get change or things will work, where they will listen. Because any other time, we cannot get the MTA to listen. We speak about safety all the time. Nothing is being done. We speak about women not having light duty work. Nothing is being done. The only time they care to respond is when they are embarrassed in the media. That's the only time the MTA care or dare to respond. Now, what they've been doing with me lately is they've been trying to discredit me to journalists, to say, oh, this guy's this guy is that. But one thing they have yet to say is that this guy is lying. They know I'm not lying. They know that they are lying, and they can't substantiate their lies any longer. That's why the media is very important. That's why it's very important that we continue to use the media against them, right? Now, with the MTA, the only thing they do is virtue signal. They act like they care, and every time they have a rebuttal in the media, it never matches up with their actions. So whenever we talk about safety, they go to this go-to line all the time. The MTA care about the safety of the riders and the employees. Yeah, it's easy for them to say that, but it's not true. It is not true. Now, Don't get it twisted. I get the business aspect of the MTA position on certain things. So you'll have Jan Oliva go out there and say, hey, the subways are safe. That is his job, actually, to say the subways are safe or the buses are safe. It is the union job to say that it's not safe, which is not, right? Because for the past 6 months, at least one time every month, there has been a shooting on MTA property, or a bullet was shot on MTA property or damaged MTA property. We're talking about buses. We're talking about trains. Now, what Jan Oliva do not realize is that when he say that it's safe, he's invalidating the riders' concerns and the workers' concerns. He's making the riders and the workers think that we are dumb, we're stupid, that like our eyes are telling a different type of story. Now, he may be right. In his eyes, it may be safe. Why? Because he rolls around MTA property with security. Whenever he has a press conference, he has security there to protect him. So he has a sense of security. We don't have a sense of security when we on MTA property. There's a chance that you may not see a police officer the entire time that you're working. Jan Oliva don't have those same concerns. And, like I said, politically, I understand his position, because his job is to get riders back to the property. His job is to create an illusion of safety. That's his job. But Jan Oliva, let me ask you this question. What's wrong with you saying that, you know what, the MTA property is not as safe as we want it to be, but we're working on getting it safe to where we will allow our teenage kids or nephews to ride the system by themselves without a worry in the world, right? What's wrong with saying that then versus you always saying that it's safe? We know that it's not safe. If you felt that it was safe, you wouldn't have 30 security officers at an MTA board meeting. Sometimes there's more security officers at an MTA board meeting than actual people, public up there coming to speak. That doesn't sound like safety to me. When you say that it's safe and then you're asking for more security and things of more police officers, it makes no sense. If I was the mayor, I would not give you more police officers. You're saying that it's safe. You're contradicting your own statement. You're burning the candle from both ends. The only thing we ask for you to do is just tell the truth. Tell the truth about safety. Yes, we all want ridership to come back to the system, but don't invalidate workers' experiences, riders' experiences while taking the system. You are a casual rider of the system. You're not a habitual rider. You casually ride the system, and when you do ride the system, you ride it with security. You need to be open and honest with what's going on. Yeah, we understand the position that you have to play, but as being a public servant of the state or the city, you are also liable to tell the truth. You have to tell the truth. You're not telling the truth. You're invalidating riders and workers' concerns, and you're continuing to breed people like Tremel Thompson, people who are not afraid to go to the media and tell what's really going on with the MTA. Someone just got shot this past Sunday, Shepherd Avenue on the Sea Line. Another shooting on our property. When will it end? Shootings on MTA property is not symbolic of safety. It's symbolic of an unsafe work environment, something that you're not familiar with, but something that transit workers and riders are very familiar with. So we will continue to go to the media because we know you don't like it. You guys don't like it. And y'all don't even want to have an open conversation of what's really going on in the subways and on the buses here. Y'all want to continue to ignore us. And the only thing we want to do is be heard and see actual change of the safety of the system. It's a matter of time before another one of us end up in a casket. And it's miraculously miraculous that all these shootings and nobody has died. Could you imagine? We had like 9 shootings in the past 5 months on the property, and all of those were murders. Are we measuring the safety on if people died versus a gunshot on the property? Every time a gun is shot on the property, to me, that could have been a death. And we have had multiple shootings multiple people shot, weeks apart, nothing changing. So Jan Oliba, you need to get it together. MTA executive management, you guys need to be very honest of what's going on, or y'all going to continue to breed more Tremel Thompsons and people who's going to speak out, because we are no longer afraid to speak out, because us being silent and remaining silent is detrimental to our safety, and not only worker safety, but the safety of the riding public. Have a good day.